Inevitable.
Yo, what's up, guys? It's your boy UAG back in the building, and we got a good one for you guys. It is the weekly retro after party, and we got our man, Mr. John D, in the house. What up, John D?
How's it going, everyone? Everyone doing good?
You muted Gene again, really?
No, I'm good. I wasn't even saying nothing, man. I was pointing.
You know how we do.
I was pointing. I was going like this.
So we, Mad Dads, what's up, bro? What's up, Rainwater? The crew is here, and I just want to give a little disclaimer here at the beginning of the show, guys. We have a bunch of questions that we're going to get into and whatnot. So if you do have questions in the chat, please refrain, hold them towards the end because we won't be able to shuffle through these, and go back. Save them towards the end. We'll have a Q&A section at the end of the show. And if we can't get to all of them, we will be doing a follow-up with John D in the future. So, trust and believe we will try to get through as many questions as possible. We'll do a rapid fire at the end. Okay, guys?
I'll try and show your
awesome.
chats and stuff. I'll keep it up, but I may not answer them all right off the bat.
Yeah, so we'll try to get it done.
Let's get into it. We don't want to waste this man's time. He's a busy dude. Listen, I had to do a lot of things to get this to happen. So let's make sure we get through it. Now, let's the elephant in the room, right? John D, you were gone for a minute.
Yep.
You took a hiatus, and I know that we all need to do that at one point in time. So what was going through your mind? What happened? Why were you doing that? And kind of let us get a peek behind the curtain.
Well, I took a break, and I'll tell you that no one from inside the company told me to take a break. This was on my own volition. And, I just needed to reset. I had to really just reevaluate everything I was doing, how I was presenting myself, and how I was representing the company. Was it the correct way to represent the company? And so I took a little break to say, you know what, let me reset. Let's really think about the right way that I should deliver my messages, because a lot of the messages that I was delivering was kind of tainted with some of the BS that I was doing. So I recognize that, and I'm back. But yeah, I took a break just so, look, we're in a global reset. So I needed to do an internal reset and just really reevaluate the ways I was doing things. And I think everyone should do that.
I will say this, personally, the community really did miss you. It was dead. It was dead. We had your face on the sides of milk cartons. We were looking for you.
I bought that shirt, by the way.
I only sold 2 of those shirts. One was to you, and then one was somebody in Australia.
You still owe me royalties, motherfucker.
Oh, okay.
Royalties on your own purchase.
People always trying to get some money from somebody. He's over here hustling you. But listen, I actually have some lost footage of you basically soul searching. During that time of the hiatus. So let's go ahead and play that to So yeah, we had some footage there. So I know we all go through that. But with that being said, let's get into the nitty gritty.
Sure.
Oh, so it's a beautiful time right now if you are a fan of the home arcade, right? Sure. It's a lot of exciting things happening. So it's good that you came back just in time so we can talk to you, because there's a lot of stuff that's popping off. There's some people right now that got this beautiful cabinet on the right of you. Let's bring up John D so we can pull that up here. This one right here on the show. That is that the Simpsons?
Oh,
yeah. So you got Ultimate Mortal Kombat 3. Oh,
dang!
What is that?
What's that? So let's talk about that first.
Sure.
Let's talk about that, because I remember a while when we started talking about the legacy cabinets that you said that there are going to be a lot of different iterations of it. Will reskin and whatnot. So if you're a fan of a particular game of that's in that collection, you'll be able to collect that particular one for you. And so looking at that bad boy, let me go ahead and I'm not doing it justice here. I'm not doing
Show
it
the
justice.
pictures.
Let me
show them.
This is exciting.
First of all, one thing I notice here, there's no ledge. This is flush.
Yep.
So you guys are listening to the fans and heard the beef about that. So we got that address. We've been talking about, Dan, how many times are we going to see this MK2 cabinet? You changed the skin, so we're loving that aspect. And then you see right here in the dark, it has a light up J panel. So talk to us about that. What's going on there?
Well, I mean, if you guys remember during our CES show in the beginning of the year when we announced the Legacy cabinets, this is what we call our evergreen cabinet. This is a cabinet that's going to be released every year, right, with usually the same games. But it allows us to have, thank you, sir. Thank you. It allows us to have, different skins, right? And so, some people may like MK. Some people may like UMK3. And it gives us the opportunity for those fans to we can reskin it using the same hardware and release it every year in different formats and different even shapes by keeping that. It should be our lower price point item. And that's really the goal. But also we'll make improvements along the way. We've listened to the fans. Most of the fans didn't like that little ledge, and we understand that. I don't know. Many people know that. A lot of the cabinets in the back of the day had that ledge, but of course they weren't as thin as we are now. So we totally understand that. And so we listen to fan feedback and we make changes as we go along. And I think that's how we should do it.
So I got a question for you in terms of that, kind of a piggyback off of that. One of the things that your haters might say, and I would agree with this, is the QA portion. How did that get past QA? You guys didn't think that would have been a issue, the ledge?
That's a great question. We honestly didn't think that was going to be an issue, right? And so it was released that way, and because we were trying to keep authenticity, right? And authentic arcade cabinets did have that ledge, but again, like I said, it's different. It's not apples to apples because our cabinets are a lot narrower than real cabinets. But so we didn't think it was an issue. But when we heard the community feedback, we go, you know what? Let's just change it. Let's just change it. If people are having issues with it, then let's change it. And so that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to constantly improve our products and listening to fan feedback.
John, is that front panel? I notice it lights up there. Is that going to be a standard?
It's not a standard. It's basically differentiation, right? There'll be cabinets that we have that are. Can I have a coffee real quick? Sorry.
Okay, there you go, sir.
Sorry,
Mr. D.
No problem. Sorry. Thank you. It's hard to find good help these days.
Yeah, I understand.
Go ahead.
That's why I got rainwater.
Yeah. So what I'm saying is that sometimes we'll have.
Is that?
He's gonna play that.
Wait a minute. I'm sorry. I gotta interrupt.
That's our intern.
Don't I know this guy?
I don't think so. Anyways, let's go back to the subject.
Okay.
Like there'll be differentiations, whether it has different core factors and different leaded J panels and different things like that. So that's what we're trying to do. Like even though we're going to be releasing like the Legacy cabinet every year, right? And then so that's what we're trying to do.
Okay, we got it.
I know that.
Yeah, we know that voice.
Behind you.
And I hear the voice. Who plays like that? Listen.
Arcade1up machine in the market release. You better get it for
No, snap.
You're gonna find out.
This is why Rev couldn't make my show.
Cool, man. That is cool.
This is why Rev couldn't make my show.
Yeah,
I got you. Listen, bro.
What's up, Rev?
How you doing?
Close this up 15 minutes ago. I'm not going to be able to make it on the show, guys. That work
Let's give a round of applause to the voice of the fighting game community, Rev.
Yeah, you can. Go ahead.
Yes, you can.
Yeah. Come on.
All right, guys.
Don't break my table, though.
All right, I'm not going to break the table.
Don't break the table.
Sorry,
We're
guys.
telling John D, he's not going to make it. John's acting
UAG,
like,
I'm sorry.
Hold on.
That sucks. Oh, he's muted now.
He's gotta get it. Yeah.
Can you guys hear me?
Yes, yes, sir.
I just want to apologize, UAG. I was late. My boss was breaking my balls. I had to get him coffee. I had to get him everything. It was ridiculous. But I'm here. I'm sorry.
Okay, the question really is though, is it just black?
It's a French press actually, with a little bit of foam on top
and some Jameson. About
the Irish coffee. All right. So let's get back into this legacy cabinet. Okay. So in the future, do we see that the titles may change on there, or we're looking at
slightly
the legacy that MK cabinet, that Midway is going to always have those select games, or we're going to see a variation of those?
I think for the most part, can you guys hear me okay?
Yeah.
Everyone in the chat, can you hear me okay?
Yep.
For the most part, the games will be pretty similar. We may add a couple games here and there. We may change games in and out. We may change J panels and light them up and all that thing. But the idea is to give you a very an affordable SKU every year, and that we change with different skins. I mean, it's something that we said from the beginning.
Okay. So and then second part to that. Because you are trying to keep the price down low, would there ever be a possibility of providing online capabilities to those particular cabinets?
Yes, there's a possibility for sure.
Listen, because that's a game changer. That's a game changer even for the regular games. Like I'm playing tennis on the Big Blue. Nobody thought of that game being a game changer, but having all those games on there online, it really does bring a value to that unit that nobody can touch.
Yeah, I mean, look, I'm not making promises, but we are looking into having the legacy cabinets all online play. But again, we're working on it. No promises made, but we're definitely considering it.
John D, I got to tell you this.
I was using my headphones. Can you guys hear me okay?
Yes.
Good, man.
Okay, good.
Would that include upgrading the old legacy ones to have online play, or is that?
No, that's a little bit more difficult.
That's going to be future. But what I will say this, John D, once you let the genie out the bottle, right? you've given us this Big Blue. I know you're looking at a different, like, maybe the legacy owners are more budget conscious, so they probably don't care about that feature. But once you've given us a taste, it's hard to walk that back.
You know what they say? Once you go Wi-Fi, you can't go back.
You can't. You can't. No, seriously. I find it hard to play the other units if I can't have an online, play. It's just the way it is.
I, for one, am glad that this is not online because Nick
you suck.
is teaching me how to not be so bad at it.
Yeah,
no, I'm not teaching. You better go to Mad Dads. And a disclaimer before anybody starts some shit about me and Mad Dad's game. Listen, my mother always told me to respect my elders. This guy's an old man. I had to let him get that victory.
Not too old. I'm just saying.
How old are you?
And I look cleaner than you do.
Well, he took it to you like he was your old man. That's
how old are you, man? Let's bring it out there. How old are you?
Oh, I'm 43.
That's it? You're a baby.
That's it. You see what I'm saying?
I saw it.
Hey, a question though. Hold on, Mad Dads, if I can, really quick. You and I are about the same age, my man, right?
Correct.
Now, what did you call it when you grew up and you saw somebody wearing a bunch of Laker gear, but they were never a motherfucking Laker fan? What do you call that? Huh?
A scrub. Actually. So that's what we call it. Scrub.
Yeah.
Scrubbity scrub.
I call it your average bandwagon jumper is what I call it.
I saw him outside your house cutting the power because he was losing. He didn't want to stream anymore.
Dude, that was the only time I was doing good. And then the power went out and nobody
had. Oh, you did good when the power was out. Oh,
there was no witnesses for the wins that I've gotten. That sounds like a setup.
You tried, but John D kept it going.
All right, let's get back on track. So we talked about the Simpsons. We talked about the Ultimate Mortal Kombat. I did see something else, right? Like your head is right there. Is that the class of 81?
That's correct.
So
listen, it looks so dope. Oh my gosh.
I'm going to say this. that's probably the most iconic game, like that body. Everybody's been talking about that particular cabinet for a while. So now you finally got it, right?
Okay.
Oh,
and then the question came up, is the authenticity of it.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
We're talking about it's more of dressed like an 81, but it ain't an 81.
Why do you say that?
Well, this is what I've been told.
Why do you say that? Who told you?
YouTube. YouTube knows everything.
YouTube told you don't believe everything on Wikipedia and don't believe everything you hear on YouTube.
So
what does that mean? Hold on. Explain it to the ignorant. What does that mean to say? Because I'm looking at games from my childhood and they look identical.
Well, they say that the class of 81 doesn't have. Well, the class of 81 would have a particular ROM that will allow you to do the speed hack, right?
Like what? Speed hack to what?
For Ms. Pac-Man.
Correct. It's in there.
Right?
It's in there.
And then would give you the ability to play Pac-Man if you put a combination of buttons on the cabinet.
Up, down, left, right, something like that to access.
Contra, don't be messing with.
So if it doesn't do that, then they feel that the authenticity is not there.
Okay, let's talk. What else? So I've heard a lot of chatter, right? And they said I ain't gonna buy class of 81 because it's not using the ROMs. But okay, I wanted those same people. If it did have those same features, would you buy it? Or you just?
I was just gonna say.
Yeah, let's make him put a 1 in the chat.
Listen, one in the chat. One in the chat, guys. If it had the official ROM that did all the things that you wanted, would you buy it?
Yeah. Let's wait.
We'll wait.
I'm taking receipts.
You got to think, guys. The dudes who are going to complain are dudes. I could give them a bucket full of $100 bills, and they're going to bitch because I didn't give them a bucket full of $500 bills.
We need to see some ones in the chat because I want them to make it happen.
It looks like we're getting ones. There's a lot of ones on there. Jolly Green said no show. No. But
okay,
there's a lot
let's
of ones.
talk about this. Let's talk about what makes class of 81 class of 81 besides the very pretty cabinet that we recreated. Okay. The Miss Pac-Man. I'm taking receipts now, and my wife is calling me. So tell her hold up. Sorry, I can't talk right now. Okay, so let's talk about the 3 features that really make class of 81 class of 81. There's 3 features, right? One feature is fast Miss Pac-Man. Correct. That's in there. Okay. Right?
That's there.
The other feature is rapid fire Galaga, right? That will be on there. Okay.
Confirm.
Okay.
Confirm. That will be on there on a patch or on.
You hearing it here first.
Number 3, Pac-Man via code. Okay. Now that's the more complicated issue that we're trying to work with Namco. I cannot guarantee that's going to happen because there's a lot of legal issues regarding that, but it's not for a matter of trying. We are asking, we're trying to make it happen. So I can't promise that feature, but the 2 out of 3 features we will have.
So you're saying that your mission as a company is to try to give us as authentic as possible.
Correct.
That's always been your mission there at 1UP, right?
Fast shot Galaga.
Okay.
That's gonna be cool right there. That's my game.
So since we're talking about all the new guys, the newest guy in the room that's actually here with us right now is the Big Blue, right? So I'm gonna ask a couple of 2-parters in this.
What's up with your Big Blue
What's
there,
up,
G?
man? What are you talking about, man?
What is that?
What you're talking about though?
What is that playing in the background?
I don't recognize that game in your Big Blue.
Oh, that's Street Fighter right there, man. You know what I'm saying?
Dude.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Forgor is not in Big Blue.
What are you talking about, man? I don't see. What does that say? It starts with a C. Champion Edition. Okay, get that. You know, I don't know. But
dude, is that Killer Instinct?
I forgot about that. I didn't know that was playing back there. But John, man,
what?
You know what I mean? I forgot I had it back there, man. I'm sorry. Maybe.
Hey, do what you do, man.
I mean, man. Thanks for letting me handle that PCB and all that, but it looked good. But appreciate you, man. But yeah, it looks good back there.
So you have KI online there?
No
comment on that. Right?
Oh, so like, do you beat up your kids or who plays with you?
NDA.
Nah, you know how it goes. You know how it goes.
When did you stop beating up your kids?
No, I never do that, man. Never do that.
So this is the deal. since we're on KI right now, let's talk about KI. Let's talk about the elephant in the room with KI.
It's the elephant.
That video. You had that sizzle reel, and dude, marketing didn't do you any favors with that. It didn't look really good, especially when they shed some light on the gameplay coming from another YouTuber.
Right.
Talk to us about that.
Well, you gotta know right off the bat, it's not just us. A lot of marketing, like it's a lot of these things are placeholder, right? Mm-hmm. To really, promote the features. The gameplay that you saw on that video is not the real gameplay. Mm-hmm. So I just want to make sure, that's squared away.
So Joe, you're being transparent.
We will make sure that we're as close to arcade perfect as possible. We will make sure that we're running 60 frames per second. We will make sure that Code Mystics continues their streak of quality products, because I tell you, it's like Code Mystics is on it. What's everyone worried about? They've done the Xbox 360 versions. Why are we tripping? Like, I know there's trepidation because can we emulate this game in a way that it'll fit in our hardware? Let me worry about that. Let us worry about that. I'm telling you, don't worry. I'm telling you, never fear. I'm telling you, when the pre-orders come out, you won't be disappointed.
Yeah, because it's hard. I'm just going to tell you, straight up, since I'm a Killer Instinct fan and Mortal Kombat fan, I play that on all my videos. So, the emulation that you have to run that is not no joke. Now, I got videos showing that you can play it on on Atomic Pi. Atomic Pi can play it. 2010 MAME, you can play it on that, and that's the best version in my point of view. 2010 MAME. If you're trying to play it on something else, but you have to have. A Centrino. Just to let y'all know, an old Centrino. And we put the links down in the bottom so y'all can see that I put it on an old Centrino laptop. You know how old that is. Yeah, it can actually play Killer Instinct on the right area. So. If they can get it right, and like I said, Code Mystics, if they can do it right, which they did, they got the Xbox one. It's cool. I like it, and it just has to go from there. Once we see it, because me personally, I'm just like Killer Arcade Games and all them other Twisted and all them. The gameplay has to be right. You know what I mean? I tried it on a Pi, and it just wasn't right. A Pi 4, and it wasn't right. So this one has to be right with the edges. With no edges, you know what I mean?
No edges.
Marquee up top.
We're going to do a rapid fire Q&A at the end. So just so you know, because we might answer some of your questions. I know some people are asking.
Yeah, and then I wanted to ask one more thing, and that is, I've noticed, hopefully you do this on KI, right? If you have on the Marvel cabinet, you actually had a special edition that had this the Samurai joysticks and the buttons. So I was wondering why was that the only cabinet that actually had those upgrades in it?
Look at the Marvel cabinet. Okay, there's a couple of questions. Let me address a few things. Your hack version of KI may have run on a Centrino, right? It may have, whether you're overclocking it or not, but it didn't run online, and people don't understand that it takes still beefier hardware to run it online. So, let's just get that out of the way. And what was the other topic that you...
I was talking about the buttons, the Samurai
buttons. Look, so we tried that, right? People don't understand, and you may understand how much Samurai buttons and joysticks are cost. And so we did try that out. And that was a special SKU. Yeah. But again, those are super expensive. We're running on the thinnest of margins, everyone. Okay. And also, to put Sanwa joysticks and buttons, it's not cheap, right? And especially when we're running on cheaper margins and with costs increasing by the minute.
Dude, he's got a free intern. Seriously, they're cheap as hell.
But we understand, right? Are we going to have versions in the look? Also, I do not like Sanwa joysticks. That's just my preference. Okay. I like HAP Ultimates, HAP Competition, HAP ILs with Sanwa buttons. I don't want to choose for you whether you have that or what. But anyways, will we have in the future SKUs that have Sanwas? Yes, we will. Yeah. Will we have
John, real quick before y'all, because I don't want to jump off this topic since we're here.
Yeah, I just want to make sure.
We the community right? We go through a lot of our third parties to get things done.
Sure.
You know, we got Bobby doing things. We got
Bobby Boo,
Killer,
being like a mother.
right? And so let me just bring this up here. He has this,
Woo!
and we have
Yes!
this, right?
That is
So this is the championship
Yes,
edition,
like
and
a
we have
mother.
a tournament edition, right?
Yep.
These are beautiful. However, are there ever plans, right, where Arcade1up will say, "Hey, here's a pro deck, hot swap.
Yes.
Just plug it in, boom, there you go." Or here's a you want a 20-inch monitor, you want to pay, you got to pay to play, right?
Yeah.
You're gonna pass the cost us, but like instead of you going to a third party, we go to you, and you say, "Here, just hot swap." Is there any plans of that in the future for Arcade1up?
I mean, you can always swap buttons and better joysticks currently. But if you're asking me, are we going to offer like a Pro Series line where we have better buttons and a bigger monitor? Yes, that's in the plans.
Okay.
What about
and I'm saying,
on that same note? We had a lot of questions about the bundles that you're already doing with stools and light up check protectors. Sure. Are there going to be options to not have those or other different SKUs as well?
There is already those options. It may not be for every SKU, right? I know the Simpsons will have SKUs with a stool, and Simpsons will have SKUs without stools.
So we have a rumor, Mr. 19K Fox. There's supposed to be multiple SKUs of Killer Instinct and Tron. Can we confirm that? Is there, or because I know in the past there was a lot of SKUs and a lot of complaining from the community. So I wonder if you guys went away from that because of the complaints of the community. If so, there's budget conscious people that would like to get into this hobby, but at a little more affordable rate.
I get it. The reason why I have differentiation is for our retailers. It's no different than what traditional video games are doing with DLC and everything else, but with collector packs and different toys and all that. So our retailers are saying, like, I want a SKU that's different from Walmart. I want a SKU with a lighted J panel. I want a SKU with a stool. We are providing those solutions for them to make differentiated products, and that's why you have different price points. And so it's really on the retailer side that's asking for these different SKUs. And I understand that that maybe not everyone wants a stool. Sometimes there's just going to be SKUs that you have to have a stool because the retailer has asked for it. And so that's what we have to balance,
Okay. So since we're on that topic, let's talk about pricing.
Yeah, let's
talk about pricing. A lot of people in the community is complaining, and I am so. Nobody wants to pay more money.
No.
That
we don't
wants
want to talk about.
Unfortunately, in the times that we have, and one of the things that your haters are going to say is that they're not telling me that when I buy a PlayStation 5.
Oh,
they're not telling me that when we get
right now.
I was just going to say,
nobody can buy one.
Unfortunately, I got a PlayStation 5 and an Xbox.
You can buy a PlayStation 5 on eBay right now for $1,000 if I wanted it right away.
Right?
Yeah, you can do that.
I'm a cheap bastard. I'm gonna pay official price. I will find a way.
And guys, keep in mind, what was the original price of PlayStation?
He sells his left toe and all that.
You don't see the cost of increasing in prices. Like, what was the original?
I'm just $100. Don't shoot the messenger.
I know. So here's the point. The reality for people to say, what is the price increase? Name something today. And this, I swear to God, I just came out of crazy meetings today. I'm not here to give this guy coffee, I swear to God. But legit, name something today that's not going up in price. Name me 5 things in the United States that are not going up in price right now.
Gas is.
I did look this up right before the show. I looked it up right before the show. The Kickstarter for iArcade said MSRP $899 for the Black Edition.
Right.
It is now $799, so it's actually come down $100.
Okay, so let's talk about that. People, I get this all the time. I read this all the time. Why is iArcade get to slash prices by $100? Why is at games not so high? I'll tell you why. Because it's different scales of economy. UAG, You are an economist. You know, okay? We
This
are
is
talking about prices set by the law of supply and demand. Everything in economy and microeconomics and in the macroeconomics is based on the law of supply and demand. Okay, this is apples and oranges. This is why I don't consider iArcade and AdGames to be our competition. I will tell you. Let's talk about the 3/4 scale Tetris arcade game that AdGames is going to come out. It's supposed to be a direct competitor to ours, right?
Tetris?
Yeah, Tetris.
Oh man,
That's
Like,
a fun
okay.
game.
Okay.
No.
okay.
Let's talk about it. Look, I am not trying
Let's
to
talk
diss
about this.
anyone.
Thank you for taking off that Laker hat.
I'm not trying to diss anyone. I'm not trying to diss our partners in this these colleagues in our industry, but it is a different scale.
Yeah.
I will almost guarantee that they don't make more than 500 units. Okay, so let them argue that. AdGames, tell me if you're going to make more than 500 units. So let's use that as a baseline.
Okay.
If they're able to cut their price by $100, right? They are taking a hit of $50,000, right? $50,000. Let's think about that. They can likely make that $50,000 back by charging DLC or whatever, at whatever their Arcade.net subscription, all that stuff, right?
Isn't it $20 to play online?
I don't know.
How much UAG? How much is it to play online?
It's free. Apparently, they give that away like candy.
Okay, all right.
But I think I just won one of those. the other
You
day.
had to pay 20, but it's free.
How do I claim the one that I won? I don't
everyone
even
to
know.
be- I want everyone to listen here. Okay, we are talking about apples and oranges in the sense that scales of economy is real, right? A $100 discount to them nets out to $50,000. $100 discount for us, if we take that price, is $100 million.
That's a big difference.
Who wants to lose $100 million? Okay, especially if we're running on margins less than 15%. And I'll tell you, my man, like in manufacturing industry, if you're running less than 15% profit margin, would you even run a business?
It's called a charity, and you go out of business.
Right. We are running on margins that we're trying to pass on most of the cost to us and taking that risk. And then, of course, like in any other industry, if prices increase, that's passed on to the consumer. That's
how it goes.
That's how it goes. So, I mean,
the way you make profit is in numbers,
quantity.
in quantity.
Okay.
If you
Quantity.
don't
Let's
push
talk
a
about
certain
quantity.
amount of product, then you won't make that.
But it's a huge risk.
Yes, it is.
Inventory is the worst.
Correct.
Right.
I mean,
Inventory
your
is a
enemy
killer.
right now is probably the $100 NBA jams. You
So keep
needed
in
those
mind,
to
guys,
sell
you
at
gotta think
the
about-
regular price.
What you're talking about is operating income
That's over
and
there.
cash
That's
flow.
too much.
And
Yeah,
when you
it
lock
is.
up your inventory with old product, you take on the risk, you lose capital investment, you lose purchasing power, and that puts you behind the market. The competitors are selling 500
units.
500 units. These guys are selling international millions of units.
Millions of units. Okay, let's talk about that. So, and look, our so-called competition doesn't have a lot of the costs that we need to pay for, right? They're not in
definitely
retail.
not IP.
Well, but let's talk about that. They're not in retail, so they're definitely the retail gets a cut.
They're YouTube sales.
Yeah, there's direct to consumer, right? Direct to consumer. They're not taking those costs, those upfront costs, selling at wholesale prices, selling at distribution prices, having to go and pay for testing, having to go, having approved warehouses, approved manufacturing in China, all of those things, plus, a lot of those costs there. And number one is licensing. People do not understand the cost of licensing. Right?
What is the cost of? Is every license like?
Kind of give us an education on that.
Okay, I'll give you an education.
Educational license.
In a traditional model, right? In traditional royalties, we are almost 50% partners in profit with our licensors. 50%, right? Take away, and that's not including a lot of our half. That's not. It's less than half because they're not. We're paying for administration fees.
So you have to pay all the upfront costs, whether it's
that's just the cost, right?
In
But I'm
emulation,
telling
all
you,
that.
they're not splitting their profits 50%. Look, in more cases than not, we're taking less of the profits percentages. Okay, this is a reality of licensing, right?
Is that one of the reasons why certain titles get rehashed? Because you've already paid for that license, but it's the long run. Like you pay Street Fighter. Now it's time for it to make money.
Look, yes, I mean, if you have a license, just like did you know like the reason why there's so many different Spider-Men?
No, even better. I got you. Are you ready?
Good.
Didn't Tupac die in 1996?
Gosh, it's been that long.
Like, how many albums has Tupac come out with
since then?
I'm just saying, licensing is real.
No, but let me
still making that money in the ground.
Let me talk, because the question was, do you need to continue to make more products because of licensing, right? When you have a big product like the IP from Sony, who has the Spider-Man license, right? The reason why you have so many different reboots on that, because they have to, according to their contract, they have to make a new Spider-Man movie every 3 years.
Correct.
Or that goes back to
exactly, or the rights revert. And so there's a reason why when we have these cabinets, we need to continue to make different versions of cabinets. Okay, so we had a version of Turtles. Then we had another version of Turtles which has that purple.
Okay.
The artwork, but then we have to add value to it by making it online, right? So yes, there is marketing considerations when you have IPs that you pay for that our competitors do not pay for. Okay, they do not pay for that.
If I could speak to one thing that you guys are missing also, and this is real. How are we not talking about the cost of people right now too?
Exactly. That's not even in the equation.
Right. Like, let's be honest. The most expensive thing that they're paying
right now
is people. And I know my man right here, Rainwater, knows that there are people across this country who are not working and they're fighting for more. And these guys are trying to find the talent just like everybody else, and trying to get the best talent to work in this market today. You got to pay premium costs, wages, benefits. Man, this is the stuff that really drives to the bottom line that's not being thought about. And while they complain about the cost while they go to buy something, hey, listen, man, you don't have to. You have your dollars, you have your cents. You can spend them elsewhere if you wish. But if you want premium quality product, I'm not gonna lie, John. That Simpsons is
dope, right?
It's amazing.
Talk about this. Let's pivot to the Simpsons. I want to ask John about.
Hold on. We have to ask one more question.
That's hella funny.
We'll go back to that.
Here?
Where are we?
That is awesome.
That is.
I love it.
What happened with the Simpsons, John? Can you answer that?
Well, I mean, the on again.
Who made that graphic?
Awesome.
Who made that graphic?
Mr. Rainwater. He is useful sometimes.
I love that. Okay, let me hear you. You want to speak on it? We can speak on it.
What happened to that?
That was kind of weird. It was on again, off again.
Yeah.
Bowling confirmed, not confirmed.
Yeah.
It made it look like the company didn't know what was going on. So talk to us. Okay,
let's talk about that.
I love that graphic.
Right. Let's talk about the complications of the Simpson IP. Right. When we were first in discussions with the Simpson IP, Fox had not been, bought out by Disney. Right. And so, there was a lag on there. And then also, when we're developing the product, you have to know that Simpsons Bowling is based on PlayStation 1 architecture, which is probably one of the highest architectures we're having to date, along with Big Buck Hunter, right? And so, trying to develop that in time to get this major release, it definitely was a challenge. So there was a question whether we're going to have that as a day one update or a patch later on. So that's why when we were scrambling to make announcements and all that, that information with our dev team was still unclear. So that is the real issue with the Simpsons Bowling, and why the communication efforts, it was not marketing, it was licensing and development. We were definitely trying, to have a really concise message, but it couldn't happen because we were still in firm development, and we were still all in development all the way until the day one update to make this thing happen.
So a question that we have here, the Simpsons Bowling, is that online?
No, that's just leaderboards.
Okay, so you're competing with the people in the community, scoreboard, what have you. Okay,
yeah. But the still have online capability. The 4-player is online for sure.
Okay,
online multiplayer.
Awesome. Now, let's go here because I want people don't know. Like, okay, we talk about costs.
Yep.
But in terms of costs, people in the community, me included, we don't think that these products are actually finished. So what we do, we go get ourselves a marquee to light up, right?
Yep.
We get ourselves a coin door. We get ourselves a control panel. Those things start costing, right? But you said, listen, we were like a petri dish. Said, oh, so you want light up marquees, you want coin doors, and then you added that. So now we're not going to a third party to get that. That's included in the cost. So think about that, guys, before you start talking about the price of things, right? And then I wanted to show you the quality because I was taken back by this because I had the Legacy cabinet, and yes, I know that's a lower cost, so the quality is not going to be there. You know, it's just a sticker. I was like, I hope it's not going to be something like that. Look at this.
Look at that. Look at that, yo.
That looks like an official fucking door to me.
Mic drop.
I can
That
tell
looks
you,
like an official door to me.
guaranteed. I can guarantee you that is the most legit coin door you're gonna have. Like, put your quarters in the coin door, yo.
So when we talk about costs, that's not something you have to factor this in. You have to factor that in,
Right.
and I mean, just it goes. Look it
that.
looks like a freaking lock.
Yeah. Look at that.
I remember saying that all the time about, like, you know, when you buy some, when you're talking about the countercades and stuff like that, you know, you would have to buy marquees and all that stuff, and they were talking about how it's so expensive. But when you buy all that other stuff,
and look at that. I mean, damn.
Look at that, though.
Damn. So
does look good.
let's just say that we are, the cost is getting up there, but at the same time we're getting some benefits out of it.
Right? And look, we are trying our best to add value, you know, to our products with the declining profit margins that are happening right now because of COVID. Let me finish this dissertation about costs, okay? Just so I'm totally, and this is verifiable, okay? Screens have almost tripled in price. That's no lie. Try to find a TV right now and compare those prices for TVs pre-COVID. This is real, okay? Chipsets has almost tripled in price, right? Tell me right now if you can buy a PlayStation 5 right now off the shelf, okay? If Sony is having problems with chipsets, do you think we are? Of course we are. And also, look at our current chipsets and motherboards right now. We've added stuff like the SD card. We've added other stuff like with the Ethernet and all that. That's not.
Why don't you tell us what that SD card is for? Why don't you tell us that?
The SD card is for future proofing, right? Okay. If you don't have internet, you know, you live in some backward place in the U.S. that doesn't have internet.
So you live in Rainwater's house, okay?
If you live in Rainwater's house, right? Let's talk about that, right? You know, he may not have internet, but I still want him to go to his internet cafe, download the patch, go in there and put it in, right?
The community. I have to say this one thing because if I go back, they'll burn me at the stake if I don't say it. What happened to people with Mac computers? Like they want firmware updates to their stuff, and they don't have they're Apple sheep. So like me, you're Apple sheep. So what happens to them? Are we talking about getting that down the line? Their firmwares as well.
Yeah, I don't know.
Nobody cares.
I gotta ask that question because there are a couple of people that don't have it.
My wife texted me.
What was the question?
The question is, right now your firmwares, right? If I go to your site, I download it. It's only Windows compatible.
Oh yeah. So yeah, we're adding. We actually have added Mac compatible stuff. We understand. So awesome. we're working on that. So multi-platform. Patch installation for sure. It's better to do OTA though. And we're in the future. That's why we have. That's one of the reasons why we have Wi-Fi in every cabinet going forward. Usually, hopefully, is because for OTA updates. And then if you don't have internet like Rainwater Games, you can actually go to Internet Cafe and download it on a.
He's such a nonconformist,
and everything like that. But again, let's talk about that. I've seen people in the chat just pissing me off.
There you go.
Only because Only because like it's just so much misinformation out there. They're saying, oh, Sony doesn't use off-the-shelf chip. No, we're all using the same chipset. It's a commodities.
And it's up 28% since August.
At least, right? Chipsets are just like pork bellies, right? You create a whole bunch of chips, then you sort them. It's called sorting, right?
Correct.
This is sorted for the high end. And
stratification.
Right, exactly. This is sorted for the high end. This is for your Yahwehs, your Sonys, your Xbox. Honey, talk to me later. Sorry, I can't talk.
She wants to make sure you get that milk when you get home.
You call David McIntosh, honey.
Get that ass.
The mid-sized chip. That's just how it works. I used to work for Patriot Memory, which was a memory chipset company, and then it just goes all the line, and it's basically based on the same chipsets, but different speeds and all that stuff. And we're all competing for the same supply, right?
This is true. There are, and I can speak to this because I'm a kind of a nerd in this aspect. Like there's cars that are sitting in warehouses right now that don't have their chips. They can't sell them. They're only selling 6,000.
That's why you get cars right now that has those, Apple TVs or Apple Plays and all that stuff.
We know about that.
They're only making 6,000 Toyota Camrys this year.
Right?
Can you imagine that? Can you imagine that?
All right, we beat
I just want to let y'all know that
we have to do that. So let's talk about one more thing before we move on.
Hold on, we are looking at just letting y'all know we are looking at the chat. So I know y'all, we're passing up.
Hold your questions to the end,
real quick. So
before we go to the chat, I really wanted to talk about costs and pricing before we go on, right? I did mention that chipsets, have increased dramatically. Screens have increased. MDF has increased, right? Even our freaking power supplies have increased. But really, one of the biggest things that's been increasing is shipping and container costs. At some point during the summer, container costs was up 30x. 30x, okay? 30 times, right? Did you see that video where there's a whole bunch of, in my state, there's like ships around there just like, doing a merry-go-round waiting for it to go on port?
It was up to 110 the other day.
Right. All those costs. And then not to mention labor costs, not to mention transportation costs, not to mention fulfillment costs. All of those costs have increased. And we've actually eaten most of them. If we passed the cost all the way to consumers, you would see a 4x change in pricing. Okay? It's not beneficial for us. It's not beneficial for us to sell cabinets at the rate, at the price we're selling, because that we lose on market penetration, right? Mm-hmm. So I just want to tell you, hopefully this is a temporary thing. Hopefully all of us together can, in the future that the prices mellow out. But I just want to say that. Especially if we're already running on thin margins as it is.
So how were you able to give us free shipping?
Well, that is something that we want to make sure that we're providing value, because we're trying to beef up our D2C D2C distribution.
And actually, when you look at distribution as a whole, you're going to have a middleman in most distributions, right? So what's actually going to happen is you're going to look at LTL carriers that's going to take it from the port. The ports are going to take it to the warehousing. Once it hits the warehousing unit, it's going into a WMS system on a third-party company at that point, who is then going to be outsourcing the transportation costs, looking for the cheapest carriers who can deliver to where they are, unless you're talking about your major retailers like Walmart, who have their own distribution chain.
But even though they have their own distribution chain, they're still got to take the cost of transportation to the distribution channels, right? Their costs are going up and everything else. That's why I hope prices go down, because they can't upcharge us on shipping if shipping has come down. Mm-hmm. They can't upcharge us on container costs because those are costs they're paying for, right? They're the one passing on to us. It's like, look, we can only charge you so much because we're eating all of the container costs. We're eating all of the shipping and transportation to our, DCs, which is our distribution centers, right?
And John, some people have said that once you go up in price, it'll never come back down.
Yeah, I mean, that's true. Are you kind of
look?
That's a fair argument, but that's not beneficial to our business. Okay, our business is being able to get an Arcade1up in every household in America and around the world.
We're not going to do it at those prices.
Right, you can't do it with those prices, and so therefore, Look, like I said, one of the big increases is shipping and container costs. Right now, this is why prices are really high right now for almost every product. Now, because our partners are paying for that, they're passing down the cost to us and everything else. Hopefully, when those prices, when those prices basically calm down, then the prices should calm down. But it's not beneficial to run a model, especially in a company in our infancy, to not really go after market penetration. So yes, I am hoping that prices come down soon, because I thought $299 was the sweet spot for casual.
It definitely was. It definitely was. A grandma can be okay with going to Walmart, seeing that, and be like, you know what, let me get that. Yeah. But budget conscious people, if that's why when you see a product, instead of saying 300, you see 299. Right. It's a very subconscious thing. With that being said, I want to talk about this. If you're a supporter for a company, let's say I love the Big Blue, so I put out a video, and then everybody jumps on me. Oh, you're a shill. Oh, this or that.
Oh my gosh, I hate that word.
Right?
John.
Why can't we just be fans of what we like?
Yeah. What? I hate that I hate that false narrative. I hate that false narrative. Shills? Are we talking about shills? Okay, let's talk about shills. I will tell you that I was very disappointed in the community, right? I was very, very disappointed in the community where they're calling people our supporters for Arcade1up shills, because that's 100% incorrect. Retro Ralph, console kits, Michael Burry. Shit, I haven't even met Michael Burry till about a week before I was on the show, calling them shills. I will tell you once, I've never asked them I always said, be truthful. Be truthful when you do your reviews. Be truthful. Okay, I've never put them on NDA. I put them on friend DA. Okay, that was unfair, guys. Shells.
Yeah, no.
No. But if you want to talk about shills, okay, there are other companies putting YouTubers on NDAs. Right? There are other companies putting YouTubers on NDAs. Now, if you are trying to question the objectivity of people who are supporting Arcade1up and calling them shills, you should question the objectivity of other companies putting other YouTubers on NDAs. I mean, that's just fair is fair, okay? Don't talk us about shills, because that pisses me off.
I think even more than that, though, and this is going to get more to the root of it, right? Like, hurt people. And I think, like, when you have people who are out there and they're throwing stones at people, they're throwing stones at people because they're doing things right.
Right.
So for an example, like UAG, I'm going to put you on blast. I'm going to put you on blast there, Terra Squad. Fat Joe right there. Here we go, baby.
Fat Joe?
Look at that.
The man is doing real things. Let's be honest. Let's be real. My man is doing big things. He's lining up. He's bringing Mad Dads, Rainwater Games, and UAG to the forefront of this community, and he's going to have haters. And those haters are there because no matter who's at the top of the mountain, their whole purpose is to bring other people down to them. And I'm gonna reference back. This is my root, and I'm gonna get off my soapbox. But Snoop Dogg in 2016 gave an interview that was one of the best interviews I've ever seen in my life, where he said, you got homies who are here, and that skill gap happens, and you got to grow, and it's up to the homies to grow with you. And you got some of those YouTubers who are seeing guys like UAG grow, and instead of stepping their game up to fill that gap, they expect UAG to lower his game back down. And he can't do that, because why would you expect him, as he's having fun living his best life, to have to bring you down? Let him grow, man. Be supportive of these people, guys. This is not an easy world. We all got real lives. We all got crazy things going on. Why the hate? Support, man. It's much easier that way. Don't be throwing nastiness.
Look, I'm not calling anyone a shill, because I would never do that, okay? I'm not calling anyone in our community a shill, but I'm just calling a spade, right? Don't call people who support our company shills, because we've never given them any false narratives and give any type of rules to say what to say about product, okay? If you are under NDA for another company and you question the people who support our companies, you should question that too. And I'm not saying anyone who are under NDA through at games or shills. I'm not saying that, but I'm just saying, just be careful. Be careful when you tag someone as a shill. That's a hurtful comment, and we will never tell any YouTuber, don't talk about this, don't talk about that. If we're doing something wrong, tell us, because we take that constructive feedback. If other companies are doing something wrong, I expect you to have fair game as well. If they're doing something right, say so. If we're doing something right, say so. That's fair. Okay.
Listen,
I just really want to say that, because I think what was going on in the community was very toxic at that time. And yes, I did act to that toxicity, and I will change. But I will tell you that I want this community to play well together and be fair. Okay, that's all I'm saying.
You know what?
Okay,
I have to agree with that. One thing that we pride ourselves on this channel here is that anybody can get it. Anybody can get it. We talk shit about ad games. We'll talk shit about iArcade, and we'll talk shit about Arcade1up. Like I said, I got Big Blue. It wasn't perfect. It wasn't perfect. I had to put a riser on that bitch, right?
Riser on risers on risers.
Yeah, I had to
put risers on risers on risers.
No, I'm not saying. So we pride ourselves in that we will always be honest.
Be honest, and that's all I expect. Ask Ralph, ask Justin, ask Michael Burry, ask Cool Toy. Just be honest. Just be honest. And if someone is doing a hack off of a website that they're saying, just be honest, right? Okay. We get inspiration. Like you saw me playing AJ Styles on this hack version of a 2-player like back-to-back category.
Was not Arcade1up approved.
It was totally not. That shit was hacked. But I will tell you though, that shit from Alibaba, I love that. I love it because I was saying, you know what? This plays fucking great. I can play Street Fighter.
But it's different. You could put a lot of money into the hardware when you don't got to pay for the IP.
Yeah, but hold on. But I'm saying, like, look,
you know how that goes, right?
You did not invent that Alibaba thing. Yeah. I'm not going to say that I invented that Alibaba back-to-back, but I will come back to the dev team and say this Alibaba hack.
Thank you.
Great. And I will make it better. I'll make it look better. I'll make it take away the red.
One thing y'all gonna do is gonna make something look good. Y'all, nobody can. I don't care what anybody says.
Always said.
Arcade1up product always look gorgeous.
Okay, so gorgeous. I will make, but so I will take inspiration from anywhere that needs to be taken inspiration. I won't take credit for it, but I will take inspiration from it and make it better. That's okay. You know what? We're not doing anything new. We're just improvising. We're just innovating. We're just making things at a good price point. Toys. I love toys. I pay a lot for my toys.
Hey, again, the number, if you've seen the show, if you've been in participation of the show, the difference between a man and a boy is the price of his toys.
Well, yeah.
Remember that.
My favorite toy is this thing. That's my favorite toy.
Listen, I buy a new one every year. I'm a sucker.
Can we talk about that Tron toy? Didn't we have a lot of
you spent like $1,000 on that by itself, right?
We got to ask a question here, guys.
Sure.
Let's go into the order of here, right? When you went on sabbatical, right? Backtrack. You went on the sabbatical. It seemed like it was the perfect time. There wasn't a lot of news going on, right?
News, right?
It's almost like it was set up this way. But I will say this: when your sabbatical happened, some things did happen. We had the Randy Records fiasco, right? We had the mystery emailer sending all the YouTubers all this shit. Yeah. So I wanted to know
those emails.
With that happening, did you were in the mess? You were in the office. What happened with Arcade1up? Did Arcade1up started panicking like, oh shit, what's going on? Or did you guys sit back and like, well, it's free advertisement, it's all good.
Look,
if I was a fly on the wall, let me know.
Leaks, I don't think is ever really effective as a very concerted marketing launch, right? Leaks are unintentionally good in the sense that we didn't pay for that kind of awareness, but it doesn't reach the masses that we need to reach, right? A lot of times that we, propose things to our retailers, they're like, just products that we think that they may want to have, and they all of a sudden put it up. Like that's something we have to contain. I came from Capcom. Capcom was the king of leaks, right? But well, they were. However, it's a better way to kind of like, grow excitement for something. Like the information is not known, and all of a sudden, bam, we have like a marketing campaign. Bam, we have pre-orders. Bam, we have
the conspiracy is that you guys leaked that out. So you're saying that doesn't serve a purpose for you guys.
It doesn't. Like it does serve the purpose in the sense that we didn't pay for that advertising. Yes. It doesn't serve the purpose that it did not reach the masses that we wanted to reach if there was a concerted, real effort for a launch, and a real good launch is supported by paid marketing, right? Supported by great assets, supported by people talking about it once it releases and everything else, and so and pre-ordering, right? That's to me.
So y'all were cursing out Randy. You're like, what the fuck are you doing over there, Randy? Like he just learned how to work an email.
Since you were talking about that.
Now, UAG, my man, congrats on that big 80. Let's get to 1,000 tonight, y'all. Let's share this.
I think we're gonna get
this man to 1,000 tonight.
Let's get there, baby.
Let me so John, what about the video on the KI? I know a lot of people are gonna be asking about that.
Yeah,
what happened on the video? What was that all about?
That video was not the real footage, unfortunately. I will guarantee that the real game looks way better than that video. That was just done as a way to kind of just build excitement, but unfortunately it did the opposite. We understand, but I can guarantee that the real KI gameplay that everyone is anticipating will meet everyone's expectations.
So,
all right, thanks for answering. That. Appreciate it.
All to piggyback off of Mad Dads, the video showed ledges. We have ledges on that?
No.
Okay. All right. And could you tell us about is there, because it showed one had a kick plate, one didn't have a kick plate. Are there different? Was there a purpose for that, or that was just an error in?
Oh no. So basically, what you saw was two versions of that cabinet: one with the old legacy style, and one with the one that we promised. Right? It's going to be the one that we promised. It's not the one that was shown in the legacy style. And to add to that fact, we have because we listen to fan feedback. We have the slanted screen.
Mm-hmm.
We have the marquee that's closer to the top of the side edges, right? And we also made it taller by adding another piece of wood. It's all Big Blue, so the viewing angles are much better.
Hey, Mad Dads, I busted Ultra Combo, no issue, bro.
Can we do this though? Can
I'll bust it up.
Okay, so
I'm just saying.
With that being said, we're making good on the promises of what we said. We're gonna have the slanted cabinet. We're gonna have the flush thing. Does the panel sit higher than the Big Blue right now? The control.
It does.
Okay. Because that's one of the things that, though it was taller, that slanted panel, I'm not a big fan of because it sits lower.
Yeah. That was probably an issue that we saw also after we got feedback. Look, everyone wanted slanted panel, right?
Yeah, but everybody wanted it, right?
Yeah,
I will say that.
The slanted panel was such, then that meant that the actual joysticks and buttons were sat about 1.5 inches lower, which was not ideal, right? Mm-hmm. So yeah, we're looking into that. Hopefully in the future that I love the community.
You're listening to the community.
Great feedback. Yeah, we want to make sure that for people taller than me, it's way more comfortable.
Yeah.
All right. So if that KI works out and the emulation is right, everything is fine.
Yep.
What about like MK4? They're talking about Mortal Kombat Online. What about all that? Do you think we're going to be getting anything like that anytime soon?
No, we're looking into it. Again, I can't really comment too much about products that have not been released, right? Okay. But are we looking into an MK Online? Yes, we're looking into it. Can I promise it's going to happen? I can't do that in today's show.
Look me in my eyes, guys. He can't say that, right? I can't say it because I don't know it for sure. But I can tell you that I know that the sun comes out tomorrow.
Yes.
Right? I know that the moon will be out tonight. So I can pretty much sure Arcade1up is not a company that likes to leave money on the table.
Yep.
So let's just say next year is probably going to be a good year. That's all I got to say.
I will say next year
definitely. Know about that AI next year. Yeah.
Can you say anything about Terminator 2? Are we allowed to talk about that?
Oh, wait a minute. I got a question about that. So I know that so T2 rumor, T2. Right?
Terminator 2.
Is that something that we could talk about? Is that happening?
I mean, like I said, hold on. David has texted me real quick because he
was I not supposed to?
No. David McIntosh could text me something. He is telling me that nothing is confirmed until it's officially confirmed. And if you want more updates on our upcoming titles, please visit our website, arcade1up.com, as well as our social media pages for further updates on titles that you'd like to see coming out.
I appreciate that. I do have a second part of that.
In a theoretical world, if
theoretical
you were to make something like that, what kind of technology would you use for those guns?
Okay, let's talk about that. If we were to do it, that's a great question because I think I won't get in trouble.
That was a really good question, actually.
Theoretically, if you were to have a gun game that was stationary, a la Revolution X, a la Terminator 2, right? A la Crossbow.
Time
how about Operation Wolf?
I was just thinking the
Operation Wolf.
Yeah.
It would be very difficult to do that.
Aliens.
It would be very difficult to do a stationary game with the width that our 3/4 cabinet is.
So you have to take some liberties.
Are you talking the big ass guns?
Yeah.
Oh, forget that.
Okay, so I have another question that goes at because I don't think that you answered the question that we actually had.
I did answer the question.
No. It was John D, I gotta call you out because that wasn't the question that we asked. The question that we asked is this: in terms, if you were to come out with another gun game, right?
Sure, like which one?
Let's say any gun game, whether it was Time Crisis, whether it
was Forces.
T2, the technology that you would use, would we still be using Sinden technology, or would there be another avenue?
It depends. It really depends on the title itself, right? Sinden technology is good for certain gun games and not so ideal for other gun games. So if you're saying like, will we use always Sinden technology in our gun games going forward? The answer is no. Mm-hmm. Are we going to use that for games that make sense? The answer is yes.
So would you use that for a stationary gun game that you're not going to use stationary because you can't? That's the question that I'm asking. Okay?
I think he said that they wouldn't
not answer that question at this time.
Okay. That's fair. That's fair.
We got what we could.
Listen, guys, I tried.
That House of Dead, though. That House of Dead. If y'all did it, I know y'all do it right.
You did masterfully not answer the question.
Yeah, I did.
You did.
Yeah, I circled around it.
You really did.
Listen, I told you on this show we come after you, whether or not you answer it. That's another thing.
I expected it.
So okay. Here, this is a question that a lot of people in the community have been asking. I've been hounded by. And so it's going to be a few questions, and I'll start with this one.
Sure.
Okay. One up with the pinball, right?
Yes.
That venture came out. You got a lot of beef in the beginning in terms of playability on the Attack from Mars table, whether it was, a couple of them not working right, whether it was washed out colors, whether they complained about it being 720. Whether they complain about it not being Wi-Fi. Mm-hmm. With all those things that people could say negatively about it, was it still considered a successful launch?
That's a great question, right? I think being able to provide it, at that price point originally was a successful launch. I think that, having it at 720 was because we needed to run at 60 frames per second, right? We would like to have it 1080p? Yes, but our hardware at the commercial price point was not going to allow that. However, when we did some patches and we did some updates, you could see that there is a increased fidelity in that game. So we continue to improve it, right? And so was it a successful launch? Look, yeah, I think so, just because we're introducing pinball back to the masses. And doing that, I think that's in that way successful. It's very tough, though, that price point is a hindrance on trying to get as many products out there as possible. We know that, it should, we know that we need to provide as much value to it, and we'll continue to look at this category to make it so, it's well received.
So you talked about the firmware update. So let me piggyback off of that. That was the second part. So it took a while to get that firmware up.
Yeah, about 4 months.
To fix it, right?
About 4 months.
And so people complained about that. But when it finally did hit, it came at a cost. We had a hack. Now there's people that had 30 games on their units that, whatnot. It did provide some other value to it, like you have the ability to get 1080p now, or whatnot. Was that one of the reasons why there was such a delay in terms of the patch coming out? That fear of something like this could happen?
Look, I mean, these games are internally developed. They think it's not as easy as just throwing in an Android APK and be done with it. We need to make sure we develop this for dual screen, compatibility and everything. Yes, it took longer than expected, but I'm happy that it finally did come out. We understand that it come out longer than we even expected it, but at least what you saw was some improvements. We did fix those problems with Attack from Mars, and not only that, we were able to make sure that this overall game screen didn't look as washed out as it did during launch.
It did look a lot better.
It does. It does look a lot better. And so again, we're continuing to improve.
And now you can just buy one and you get all the games, right?
Well, you know what? I think that was something that was not intended.
Not endorsed officially by.
Not officially endorsed, because that provides problems for our licensors. But you know what? I think whatever you have, hacks are going to hack. Hackers are going to hack, right? Like. I didn't think you could hack a Nintendo, a mini NES, but it happened, right? And so
you can hack your Big Blue.
Okay. Well, thank you for putting that to rest.
He hacked our
Big Blue. What are you talking about, man?
Let's talk about Big Blue real quick. Okay, just real quick before go. A lot of people are saying, why does Big Blue not have scan lines? Because we didn't want the online experience to be affected by additional noise, basically. But I will tell you, UAG and everyone here, and for the weekly retro party, you heard it here first. We're working on having scan lines for Big Blue for all 12 games.
Boom.
Oh, nice.
Boom.
Nice.
That's a pretty.
Man.
Now I have to ask you this question since you brought this up. I know that you deal with a number of developers for these units. Not everyone's Code Mystic. This wasn't a Code Mystic thing.
Yep.
Right. So, however, don't you think that it would be more beneficial for the company in a whole to have some kind of standard? Like, shouldn't you tell the developers, this is the standard. We want our menu to look like this, and we should have every game have the ability to have scan lines or have certain dip switches?
Well, I mean, yeah. You want to have, look, we do have a certain set of standards for each, a product that we bring out. We understand that scan lines are something that our fans always want. So this is why, even though the company that developed Big Blue weren't really used to doing scan lines in a great way, we made sure we pushed their resources to make sure there were scan lines. So yes, we want to have these features that all the fans are asking for. Again, different developers, have different strengths. Some developers can do online. Some developers can't. Some developers can really do scan lines well. People think scan lines is just a filter. It's not. It's a little more, intricate than that. Scan lines, if it's done incorrectly, make the game look worse.
Oh, this is true, and it washes out the color, makes
it washes dark. Out the color, it makes it
doesn't look good.
Else. And plus, add in the element of doing scan lines plus online play. Again, this is why, like, so because we got the fan feedback, we understand scan lines. This is an important part of people's experience. We push them, and so we are working on a scan line solution for Big Blue.
All right, so scan lines. That's good. Don't get me wrong. That's all good. A lot of people like the scan lines. But I ain't gonna lie, I like talking smack to you.
Oh, yeah.
You see what I'm saying? And I'd rather have it on the headset. I know I'm just trying to figure out if it's coming or not, but I'd rather have it on the headset and the mic port, whatever it is, to where I can communicate with them and tell them, and then he go start crying and everything. But I just want to see what was, I just want to see if that's coming anytime soon.
It is coming, but I'll tell you, it's going to take some development.
It's good.
The company that emulated Big Blue did not do the chat feature, so we're trying to figure out ways where we can use our outside resources to work with them to provide voice chat for Big Blue. Is it going to happen right away? No. Look, it took us almost a year to get voice chat for NBA Jam, but we were still working on it. So yes, this is our goal, to have online chat for Big Blue. It's not going to happen right away. I just want to set expectations, but we are working on it.
Okay. That's fair. Let's go back to the pinball, because I'll be cursed out if I don't do these couple of things here. So when we did that firmware update, we've noticed that they had said something in the coding about 1080p. So is there a possibility with these firmwares that we can get 1080 gameplay or a full size DMD? Like, you have a beautiful DMD on there, but we're not using the full size of that DMD. Is there a reason why that we didn't do that? Was it just because of the ratio? Because I think, we do want to have authenticity, but I think the most people wouldn't care about the ratio if we had that whole screen being used for the DMD. Are you there?
Screen. There you go.
Okay, I thought you were playing that trick on me.
Huh? We're having technical difficulties because Rev is here. I'm sorry.
Both of you guys together, that was amazing.
1080p. Let's talk about 1080p. Okay, the game was optimized. The pinball machines were optimized for 60 frames per second, right? Mm-hmm. I'm sure you've seen hacks where you can run 1080p, but because of the limitations of our hardware, 1080p can run. However, you're not going to be running at 60 frames per second.
And that's important in pinball. That's important in pinball.
Super important. That's what we said. Number one, we need to make sure that 60 frames was the priority. So hopefully, in the future, maybe we can have 1080p. I'm not going to guarantee it, but number one was the gameplay.
Wait, when you say in the future, are you saying this was just wave one, and we're going to be?
Yeah, we'll get some.
Yeah. We're going to have different waves of the pinball. That's the plan, right? We may even have different lower price points. There may be one with not a DMD in the back and all that, or So we're looking into everything to make it,
more affordable
price. We're also looking at ones where it's a bigger DMD and everything else. Everything is, everything is really, being considered.
Are we still thinking of an upgrade pass for the Wave 1 people, like Wi-Fi?
Yeah. So that's something we are considering as well. I can't guarantee that's going to happen. I'm sure Zen Pinball wants that. We want to do it. It would involve the kit, that would have its own PCB inside of it and Wi-Fi connectability. We want that to happen. I can't guarantee that's the goal, but we are looking into ways where you can download games, additional games on future waves of pinball.
John, you see how big the community is around Big Blue and around Marvel versus Capcom. The online capabilities on itself sells that unit alone. If you had that aspect in the pinball, that would be awesome, because pinball tournaments are a real deal. When you can play against people and talk smack,
pretty cool.
That's a game changer. So let Scott know that, bro. Let Scott know that.
Cool. Now I will take that back.
Okay. So, all right, so we have this other question here, and this is we're going back to our arcade side of things. people that have the 40th Pac-Man or they have the Miss Pac-Man Partycade and other units, they've been asking for a while what's going on with these firmwares. Are there any ideas? Are we getting those, or we're just gonna have to say not this time, let's go to another unit?
Yeah, honestly, I don't know. So let me go back to the dev team. If it's for sure that we're not going to patch or we're not going to update some of these games, I think the community deserves to know. So let me take that back. I wasn't prepared to answer that question because I honestly don't know what the status is at. I do know that we were able to fix some of these issues on other versions of Pac-Man where we made bilinear filtering, an option. We made speed as an option for Miss Pac-Man and all that. Look, I really want to make sure that the community finally gets closure, on some of these issues. And so please make sure I will go back to the team and ask. And if you don't do it, we definitely should tell the community.
All right, John. So I got some questions in here, just a little bit. A lot of people are asking about they seen it. You showed off the Dragon's Lair, and is that anytime coming soon? I don't know if you can answer that, but I just wanted to.
Let's talk about Dragon's Lair, right?
And let's talk about the screen.
Let's talk about that screen. Yes, let's talk about it.
You don't want the cell phone? No one likes
Nobody
the cell phone.
wants that damn cell phone.
That cell phone idea was my idea. So, look.
That was your idea?
That was my idea and someone else's idea, but I'll take ownership for it because look, we were getting into COVID around that time, and this was and we knew screens were going to be expensive. So what I suggested is, hey, instead of providing the second screen, why don't we allow a basically plug and play feature to provide that second screen, whether it's a phone or whether it's your own screen and everything else. That was the idea. But we also saw the community be an uproar. Like,
they was going to burn you at the stake for that
They were. But I will tell you right now, the reason for the delay is because we're looking into a second screen option.
Okay. And so you're making it better for us. Okay,
we are making it better.
We could wait if it's going to be better.
Look, when I said back then, if we're going to do it, we're going to do it right. Okay? So our dev team really took that to heart, and we took that to heart, right? And then we said, okay, if we're going to do it right, if it causes delays, it causes delays. But I'll tell you right now, because of our dev team's efforts and your efforts and everyone creating a stink about it, it will include an alphanumeric display.
Amen.
Okay.
Amen. I know that there's going to be a lot of people. Right. Brad, there's no video that you can make for this one, bro. Brad, I'm sorry. I took some content away from you. I love you.
This just shows, John, that you're listening to the community because you got that feedback and you're like, okay, they don't like that. You got the feedback about the ledge thing and the ultimate Mortal Kombat 3 that fixes. I mean, you're listening. I for one, I appreciate that, and I know the rest of the people in the community. We think that's awesome. So
thank you. We're trying. We're not perfect, but we're trying.
Yeah, I just want to say
that's all we can ask. That's all we can ask.
Yeah, I just want to say, tell you the truth. We were all talking about, the Big Blue and all the other cabinets and everything that comes out. But I'm telling you, once you get these cabinets, you can talk about it all you want, but once you actually get it inside and you're looking at it without being any, just looking at it.
Ice scrapers? No ice scrapers?
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty cool, man. So I'm just letting y'all know if y'all, looking at the cabinet, you already know they're going to do the cabinets right. They always have.
That's one thing. They're always beautiful.
Looking good, beautiful. Nobody can match them on that.
Since we're talking about beautiful things, I want to get someone in the chat riled up.
Oh, you're not talking about me?
There we go.
Let's talk about this bad boy. Let's talk about this nightlight.
Let's talk about Tron.
Now, it looks like a jellyfish.
It looks gorgeous.
There you go, bro.
And nobody can say that it doesn't look gorgeous. You got the nightlight there going on, right? Look at nobody wants to see your face, John. Just sit back there, relax. So tell us about this. Tell us what we're looking at.
Okay, we're looking about.
What are we looking at? Man? What is it?
You don't need to see your screen. You don't need to see your face to see it. I'm talking about. Look at the attention to details. You got the spinner. You got the night.
Okay, everything. I'll tell you what. This is the most beautiful cab that Arcade1up has ever created, bar none. It's the most expensive nightlight that you'll ever buy. Okay?
Oh, there you go, man.
Okay. I will tell you, let's talk about the flight stick. The flight stick lights up. It also has a button, a thumb button for use of disc of Tron. Button is used to deflect discs. Okay. It's like the first Windjammers, like you said.
It is like Windjammers.
It's like Windjammers. And people who say, oh, Tron 1 isn't fun, you know what? Freaking play Tron 2, like this of Tron. That's going to be the game that you're going to play a lot. And then you look at the backlight, right? It has reflective.
Oh, man.
It has reflective paint that basically reflects from the backlight that's on the top, that's pointing down, right?
Is that LED blacklight?
Yeah, LED for sure, right? And it definitely has the spinner.
So the spinner is the good quality. It's not that first generation.
No.
Right?
It's great quality. It has a push and pull feature. It has 120. How many slits? It has 120 some slits, just like the.
And then you got the light up J panel. I mean, the 16-inch riser. I mean, this thing.
Everything. It lights up like a Christmas tree.
Now, does it have the voice in the second one? This of Tron.
Has all that.
Okay, so you're doing the arcade perfect.
Right. Arcade perfect. That's everything. This is the best. Like kudos to our friends that think. Our partners, they love this game, and they made sure that this was the best looking game ever possible.
Button, right?
Yeah, it has a thumb button for Disc of Tron. Like
I've seen some that.
I'm a sellout. I'm a sellout. I'm a sellout. Listen, I want to know where the money coming from. That's all I need to know. So does the controls have vibration on it? Your average gamer 2020 at gmail.com. I do accept Bitcoins. Thank you very much.
You just gave Zohar his next YouTube video. His next YouTube video is going to be satire with a giant thing in the middle of the screen and John's face. He's literally hanging over the chair.
I gotta ask this, man. Does the controls have vibration?
No, the real controls. Did the real controls have vibration?
Honestly, so legit. I just played this. Kong can vouch. Kong has the video. I just played the legit one a week ago on at a barcade. No vibration.
So I don't think they had it.
No vibration.
No, I just want to make sure. I'm just trying to get these questions in there.
So we got that X. I'm glad that we
look
got that.
Everyone who pre-ordered Tron, you won't be disappointed. This is the best arcade cabinet in terms of the looks that we've ever made.
Hey, my KI? Okay,
that's saying a lot.
The KI is just basically a Midway clone back in the day. I mean, and the only thing about KI that I would have changed, or we would have changed, is we probably would have put that slanted panel. That's the only thing missing from the KI is the slanted panel. But everything else is pretty cool. You'll also notice that Tron is a little taller than normal, so that's that too.
So that's online leaderboards, right?
Correct.
Okay. That's awesome. Now I have a question here, and it kind of piggybacks off of this Wi-Fi theme. Really more so about the Big Blue.
Yes.
You see that this fighting game community is growing. You see, you guys going to have a tournament next week, right?
Yeah.
We don't have a tournament next week.
When is it?
We have a tournament this Sunday. Sunday.
Yeah, it's woo. Okay.
Yeah. We're looking at
you got some big prizes, right?
Yeah, we're looking at a major upset here, right? So Marvel Superheroes, the game where you actually are using the gems. It's one of the originals with Children of the Atom in the Versus series, and we did not expect anybody. I honestly thought we'd get 6 people. We're at like 20 people right now.
That's great.
Prize support is sitting first place, is getting that bad mofo right over there. That beautiful
Rampage,
big that Simpsons cabinet. Plus $500 from my man at Daystar Designs and Signs.
Thank you.
Okay.
Second place. Look at that. It actually worked to go right in the middle of the screen. Second place is gonna get $350 cash, as well as a Marvel Superheroes countercade. That thing is absolutely the most beautiful looking countercade that's been released.
Agreed.
It also has Marvel versus Capcom and X-Men versus Street Fighter. I want to remind all the Street Fighter heads out there, ask me, how many times have you seen X-Men versus Street Fighter released with an arcade port? Mad Dads, how many times?
Nah.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly. So you got to get the Arcade1up version. Third place, you heard it. You don't even have to be the first.
I want to be third place just for this for my son.
We got third place, yo. Third place is getting $150. So that way UAG can send his kid to a good school. And then also on top of that, they're going to get a Paw Patrol baby cade for third place. Christmas gift done for your kids. Win third place. Put your quarters on the glass this Sunday.
You're not even talking about the signed albums and shit.
Yeah, actually, I'll let you. Man, that's
the albums.
Yeah. So back in the day, we created for the Marvel vs. Capcom campaign back in 2008. We created 500 albums, right? And so we're offering for second place that unopened album, and then for first place that album. Signed by DJ Qbert. I think only like maybe 20 of them have been signed.
That's
that's amazing.
So
that's legit.
Look at all this. First of all, you can only get this on Arcade1up.
That's right.
Maybe you guys and your competitors should take note. If you want something like online, it's got to be worth being online. That's one, right? Secondly, you're building this community up. You had the fight with Zohar. Me and Mad Dads on there. Other people are coming. You got Retro Ralph about to get his ass whipped later on.
Don't mess with the Don. Don't mess with the Mafia Don from Providence Hill, baby. He's gonna bury you in a marsh, and
I'm gonna put him down. I'm gonna put him down. But
that's gonna be Mad Dads versus Retro Ralph.
These dudes are all scrapping in the background. Really? I'm just calling matches.
Listen, but with that being said, this community that you built, right? This shows that maybe there's other opportunities.
We didn't build it. The community built it.
I was going to say, first, Footy laughs.
Footy the Godfather.
You deserve it. And then, honestly,
Footy the Godfather, you ran with it. And Arcade1up is supplying the supply for it. Without them, we ain't got shit. Because Fightcade, unless for me, I can't create. I can't figure that shit out. And there's a lot of people in my my shoes that can't figure it out. We want something turnkey. We want turnkey. Right. We want things that the frames is not going to be no frame drops, no issues. Drops. It's
no lag.
It's official, like you in the arcade.
Can you play Fightcade on Wi-Fi?
Really shittily,
right?
Really shittily.
But I'm telling you, like I played Zohar and I played Kong on Wi-Fi. And I didn't.
I played on Wi-Fi.
Oh yeah, the Arcade1up Wi-Fi is beautiful.
I'm telling you.
Yeah. I think one thing you guys want to remember too is we're talking about a business aspect behind this, right? Like if I just wanted to run a tournament on Fightcade, that's easy,
right?
But like you're not going to get corporate sponsorships from companies like Arcade1up or Daystar Signs and Designs by running on bootleg copies. You just can't.
And something goes wrong on Fightcade, you're not gonna who you calling?
Right.
All right, that's all I gotta say. But with that,
all right, it's going to be John. Is it going to be two? Is it going to be one or two modes of that Tron? Is it going to be just that one, or
there's only one SKU.
Okay.
However, there may be one. There may be another SKU with a stool, but besides that, it's the same.
Same mode and everything. Okay.
Yeah.
I was trying to get that question.
So 90 minutes. Can we jump to like a lightning round?
We got to let me finish this topic because this is important. Yeah. With it having that online capability, right? You see the success on that. Will that translate over to other products? Can we see a head-to-head with online capabilities or a countercade?
Yeah. I think I addressed this before. Like right now, you're not going to see online play for countercades because of the price point. Because we want to offer different price points for people to enjoy our games, right? And in adding Wi-Fi capabilities, not just adding that little stick in there, the Wi-Fi stick. It's also having an increased chipset to play Wi-Fi. Will we have Wi-Fi in the future? Yeah, I like that SKU. I like having a one-player Street Fighter that's online, and then you can go, and it's just a one-player setup. Yeah, it's super portable.
How about head-to-head? How about the head-to-head?
Head-to-heads will have online.
So you're saying that the new one, the Marvel versus Capcom?
I believe so. I believe so.
You heard it here, because it doesn't show on any of the descriptions.
Yeah. No, I'll get back to you, but I believe it does have online play.
So that's a game changer right there.
Yeah.
Pre-order. If you have that, that will be amazing.
The
head-to-head. Sorry, honey, we're buying it. We're also buying this table. This shit.
And first of all, that means that you kill two birds with one stone. You could eat pizza on that bitch. Play some Street Fighter.
Yo, legit. I'm not even gonna lie. It took me 30 minutes to realize this table was an infinity table. This shit is dope. It is.
What about
infinity tables?
Hold on. Let's see what's there.
1,000 things.
I got one more. Oh, okay.
You want to see it? This is my table where I do
your setup.
Yeah, where I do my streams on. It has the Polaroid and I'm using this table as just that's my infinity game table.
Okay.
All right.
Adding new games to that.
I got one more.
Yes, for sure.
Got one more out there.
What's that jersey about though? Before we do that?
First let's talk about it. First of all, I don't know many people know, but our headquarters moved to Miami.
Yeah.
And so this is why I'm representing Miami Dolphins. And also, there's another reason. Follow my Twitter on Sunday. There's another announcement. It's not game related. It's more brand related. Follow my Twitter to figure out why I'm really wearing this jersey, because everyone knows I'm a Niner fan, and I'm wearing this as my second team.
Okay, all right. So there's a purpose behind everything. Okay,
there's a purpose behind everything.
Listen, you gotta read between the lines sometimes, baby.
I got a couple of things, right?
Go ahead.
All right, so I've been asking about. I mean, a lot of people have been asking this. I'm just going to ask it already. Golden Tee, and what about Golden Tee? It hasn't been. I mean, that's kind of been out of the water in a little bit. So I'm just trying to figure out what's going on with that.
We need online for that bitch.
Also,
if we do,
what about Blitz though? If this works, if KI works, will Blitz come, man?
Well, first of all, again, what am I going to say?
Yeah, I know. Let's go to Golden Tee.
The Golden Tee
is an awesome cabinet. Everybody loves it, but if it had online, that's a game changer.
Yeah. If, and I don't know if we are, but if we were to release another Golden Tee, it would at least have online leaderboards. I don't know if people really want
bowling.
If we were to release it, it should have like a bowling game on there. Again, this is hypothetical, everyone. Mm-hmm. Okay, yeah. So if it does release, it'll at least have online leaderboards. Now, saying why online multiplayer? Well, I think that's kind of weird on golf. Like, okay,
leaderboards is all you care about.
Because like, do I want to watch you and then wait and all that? No. I think it's in that game, it doesn't make sense to have online multiplayer, but at least to have leaderboards. So. That's again, if we release another cabinet, I just want to say that. Like I don't.
Okay, cool. No, thanks for answering that. Appreciate it, John.
Probably one, and people look at their arcade cabinets. That gets a lot of gameplay. A lot of people that.
It's one of my favorite cabinets. It's top 5 on my favorite cabinets. It's probably top 3 in the most played cabinets that I have.
Can you shut down this question real quick? Because we've literally had a bunch of people ask the same question. Sure. Any plans for downloadable game store type thing, or is that?
Oh, we're already doing it.
You're doing it on the table.
The Infinity game table.
On the Infinity game table, but you're not gonna have like an arcade, like an iArcade style thing where you buy games.
Multicade. Are we gonna have a multicade in the same model as At Games and iArcade? We are considering it. It's not our business model, right? Our business model is to appeal to nostalgia. Our business model is also taking nostalgia to the next level, right? Through online play. Having downloadable games is something that we're still considering. Does that make sense for us, right? Because, we're in the business of multiple purchases, right? People will buy multiple Arcade1up cabinets. They won't buy 2 iArcades. They won't buy 2 At Games unless you're balling like that, But
no, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah, and so will we have a multicade in the future? There'll be probably some instances that we've already started doing this, like maybe adding a bonus game, right? For free. And then from there, maybe we add a few games here and there, and look, we've already started with the Infinity game table. We'll see if that works in our standard models. We're not saying no, but we are considering it.
Okay.
So we're gonna do a little bit of rapid fire. We're gonna
Rapid
ask you
fire.
a few questions
In your
here to get you out of here. Okay. So with the legacy cabinets, is there any way to see other publishers like a Konami or like a Data East?
Yes.
Are there in the works?
Yes.
Okay.
Being considered. Yes.
Okay. Will OneUp ever go an a la carte system where they allow you to add certain features like bigger screen, deck, and you make it, or we would have to buy them separately?
Not a la carte, but different SKUs that have upgraded parts. Yes.
Okay. Question in Big Blue, will we have a tier system will allow, let's say, the lower tier player to be able to select the higher tiers?
In consideration, as well as non-ranking rooms. Yes.
Okay. Options for Canada. Will Canada start getting units at the same time as our friends?
They actually starting. Some of them have Canada is getting
earlier,
even
right?
before the US.
Yes. Question.
Michael B got his big.
Yeah, for sure.
Arcade decor. You used to be heavily involved in that.
We're getting back into it. Yes.
Area rugs.
Okay.
Yes.
Qbert.
Area rugs. Yes.
Qbert. And is it a possibility?
You know what?
Have you played area rug
lately?
Listen, people love
that game. Look, for a few reasons, right? Qbert, it's hard to pair that with another game. You call about Qbert cubes and all that stuff. I don't know if there's a real business interest for Qbert. We are looking into it. We've had the rights. We haven't executed the rights. We're looking into it. Maybe in a countercade. Who knows? There has been zero retail interest in Qbert right now, but that game is okay.
Wasn't Qbert like the bitch even in the Wreck-It Ralph movie?
Yeah.
Nobody wanted Qbert.
Is DK even a possibility?
Dude, man, if we get DK,
Nintendo.
I am retiring.
Nintendo?
I am retiring.
That's a no.
I might get a job at Arcade1up if he gets Nintendo. Probably not.
Okay, this is the question, and this was a little bit. This is not a rapid fire one. We might have to get a little depth in this. And this is in your wheelhouse, though. Licensing, right?
Yes.
How difficult is it to get Marvel versus Capcom, a Blitz or a WrestleFest, and a crazy taxi?
Super difficult, right? In order for Marvel vs. Capcom 2 to happen, it takes someone who is good with Marvel, is good with Capcom, and make them make up, right? It's not going to happen until those two parties make up.
Okay.
It takes a special person to get that done.
Let me ask. I want to capitalize.
But if anybody can do that, I think that's you, John D.
So how did Marvel
you've had
1
the
do
relationship
this?
with Capcom. You have a relationship with Marvel because you have a lot of Disney shit. So what are we waiting for? What are we waiting for?
1 and 2.
Well, it's different because the games are different. Like, yeah, they're willing to give us everything but Marvel vs. Capcom 2 because they know that's a huge issue. There's still a lot of rights issues that need to be cleared, even if we were able to get the rights. So I want everyone to continue to put hashtag free Marvel vs. Capcom 2 so we can get two parties talking so we can have our version of Marvel vs. Capcom 2.
Good.
Free Marvel vs. Capcom, free Embassy 2.
All of us would get wet like schoolgirls. Just letting you know that.
I don't care what the
Just
price
letting
is.
you know that.
You drop a Marvel 2 cab, take my money.
Yeah.
John D, Ridge Racer, sit down and stand up.
No, just stand up.
Okay. I'm trying to see what other.
That was bad.
Any different SKUs for that,
right.
or just
So,
pretty much just the one
guys
SKU?
in the
One
chat,
SKU.
right now is your opportunity. Ask your questions. We will shoot them up right now. Rapid
Previous
fire.
Good lord.
Rapid
Go ahead
fire,
and put it
guys.
in
Come
the
on, let's
thing.
go.
And I don't want anyone to say that this weekly retro party gave me softball questions because they did not.
X-Men. What about the
we
X-Men?
harassed you.
Let's
That's
just
what
call
we
that right now.
started
And
with.
I challenge John and PK to do the same thing I did today.
Oh, snap. Okay.
Did you kill
The
the
ball-
Hilo
Yeah.
hack, John?
The weekly retro party, and don't stop bugging them to have an AMA just like this one. I give that challenge out.
So
to
what
you,
about the
Muslim.
X-Men cabinet? They
Wait
wanna
a
know
minute.
about
We're
that.
going on here first. Star Wars, a reprint possible?
I think already happened.
Star Wars trilogy.
Star Wars trilogy in consideration. We'll see.
Looks like
What the hell is this question here? And Capcom versus
SNK.
Yeah,
SNK too.
Okay,
Yeah.
after we free MVC2, let's free CVS2.
Oh, nice.
Will there be a premium version of the digital pinball?
Y'all want to spend $1,200?
I think the people that are fans of that are willing to do that. How many of them?
So you probably have to do like a.
That's got to be direct to consumer.
Is that like a Kickstarter or something like that? I'm just saying because I mean I know you did it on an infinity table, but what
as long as you want to spend $1,200, we'll consider making
it. Believe me, there's suckers out there. There's suckers out there.
I'm
one of them.
They like what they like.
I had my cabinet and I got a Bobby Vu back glass. That king, it comes at a cost. But if you want to play, you got to pay to play.
Then. I don't think there are any more questions in the community.
Oh no, there's more, baby. Spy Hunter.
We'll see. We'll see if there's a market for that.
All right.
X-Men 6-player. X-Men 6-player.
X-Men 6-player is a possibility.
It's a possibility. It's gonna be huge.
Will you ever sell the coin doors?
I'm sorry. Oh, you know what? Let me take back. We're not really in the business of selling parts. I understand everyone likes the coin doors. We'll see. I think it's great.
But we like uniformity. If we have that on one of our new cabinets,
replacement parts. We need to have them all. How about we work with a third-party company and give them the mold and they sell it?
I think that's definitely a possibility.
Okay.
So, but on the website, correct me if I'm wrong. Aren't there replacement parts on there? But they just say notify me. Is that
the replacement parts has just been tough in the day of COVID and shipping and all that logistics. That's why you don't see much inventory right now. I don't think we're going to get in the business of selling parts. That's why we'd like to work with third-party companies and give them official distribution rights and everything else. We're looking into that.
I'm trying to keep up with it, y'all, but
yeah, there's no more questions. Let's go.
Robotron.
I'm ready to party.
Robotron.
Being considered. I said, like, if we do a Robotron, it's going to have Smash TV. It's going to have Total Carnage. It's going to have Berserk. It's going to have Robotron.
Have you ever thought of a Capcom beat 'em up cabinet?
I'd love an AVP.
Tekken Tag. What about Tekken?
We'll see. That's a tough one in terms of emulation for sure.
A lot of people asking about House of the Dead.
It's being considered. We're looking into it.
4-player Gauntlet.
That's a good one. That'd
be nice.
That would be nice.
We're missing sports cabinets like Blades of Steels and double dribble.
Or Open Ice.
Open Ice.
Right.
Okay. So is that a possibility?
We're all looking into it. I mean, I can never confirm anything right now, but we're looking into it for sure.
Gordon Lemon asks about Killer Instinct being available from the Brick in Canada.
Yes.
I can't answer that. I don't know. I just personally don't know.
Does shipping from Arcade1up, do you ship to Canada?
Direct, yes. I think we drop ship through Minnesota, I think. Right?
And do
Twin Cities, yeah.
And do you guys charge for shipping to Canada? I know you're not charging for.
We're not charging any shipping direct to our site anymore. We're eating those.
So you heard that. If you might want to go there, buddy.
I think he said about the pinballs. There should be some later down the road, right? Is that what you were saying?
Yeah, we're looking into it.
Okay.
I had a question up here. Wait a minute. Any 3D fighters like Virtual Fighter, Tekken, Soul Calibur?
Yeah.
I think once we have hardware that we're able to run those, it's definitely in consideration.
On the new cabinets that you have, are any of them running new hardware, or you was able to optimize it with existing hardware?
I think we're optimizing on the same level that we ran Big Blue at. Not Big Blue, Big Buck Hunter.
Big Buck. Okay.
Around the same level. Like right now, look, we went through the 80s. We're going to the late 80s. We're going into the 90s. We're already doing PlayStation 1 polys era. So we're still like scratching the surface on that era, which is 1995.
With the driving cabinets, are we done with sit downs, or are we? What's going on?
Look, I think it was more I think the stand up was more popular than the sit down. Are we going to ever do a sit down? If we do a sit down again, it's going to be definitely more comfortable.
Thank you.
So this is a little controversial. I know a lot of people have mixed opinions on this, but console games on the Arcade1up cabinets.
Okay.
Are we continuing to do that, or
look? If we add console games, it's for two purposes: for bonus games as well as for speed runs.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
More is better. More is better.
Think about that. I know console games, is tough for people. Like, we don't want console games, but it's just really added value. You don't have to play those if you don't like them. But if we do it again, it's going to be for bonus games, and it's going to be so people can do speed runs.
So you mentioned that the reason why we got Simpsons without a stool is basically Walmart said we want that. So
Correct.
Is there a possibility that X-Men can do that as well? How is there any kind of other SKU that we could see in the future?
I think we're done with X-Men right now.
Okay.
Linkable racing cabs.
That'd be great if we can do it. It's much the hardware to do linkable cabs is we're looking into that tech. It's not easy. It does take some beefy computations. Basically, you have to have two really good processors to run linkable and do it that way, especially online. The reason why Ridge Racer is not online is because of the resource management that needs to do online racing. So yeah.
Turtles
that has leaderboards though, right?
I'm sorry?
The Ridge Racer has leaderboards?
For sure. Okay. We got 7 minutes, guys.
X-Men with no stool or additional buying options. Do you have any of that?
I'm sorry?
X-Men with no stool or additional buying options?
I think we're done with X-Men.
You already did that? Okay.
Yeah. I think we're done with X-Men.
Turtles in Time ship date?
Soon.
Here we go. You talking about turning the page here. How far are we from Street Fighter Alpha or Street Fighter 3?
I can't answer that, but it's definitely something we're considering.
Okay. Are there any new licenses that we haven't heard of that are coming out?
100%.
And those are?
Let's comment. Let's not push.
I had to try.
Right? I think you're good. You're good.
Now, Run and Gun is good. What about that?
Oh, I love Run and Gun.
Yeah, that's a good game. I play that.
Run and Gun 2 is my favorite basketball game.
Yeah. The alley-oop.
Someone made a video about that sucking it off.
Hey, that's a good game.
Question,
Y'all don't know about that, man.
So I got a question. Since you were able to pull off NBA Jam, and a lot of people said that was a difficult feat, is there a possibility that we can get like NBA Showtime? Like, I know that's more modern. That's more beefier. And that's another, that's a Midway. That was a 2-in-1. You get that with Blitz in the same cabinet.
No.
NBA Showtime.
No
NBA
Showtime at this point. No plans for it.
Oh man, my feelings are hurt.
Yeah.
So I know you do so far retro games. Have you considered doing any new release stuff like Shredder's Revenge?
Yes, we're considering it, but Shredder's Revenge, even though it looks like an archaic title, runs on really more advanced hardware than we're running currently.
So that would be something down the future when you get to that.
Yeah, look, like right now, as every generation of chipsets, get cheaper and everything, you're going to start to see the recent generation of arcade games being released.
Was there a Track and Field that was announced too? What happened to that?
Track and Field has never been announced.
That was a Randy record leak.
That was never been announced.
Can you put that rumor to bed?
Track and Field is a title that is never announced. I cannot comment on titles that are not officially released.
So the Turtles in Time. The Turtles in Time. Is there? Somebody asked why wasn't there more games on it? Do you know about that?
Licensing.
Okay, there you go, buddy.
Silver Strike.
Possible.
Okay.
Blitz.
Whew. I won't say never.
Cruising.
I won't say never.
Okay.
We're gonna get ripped apart in the after show, you guys.
Why? I'm answering questions, not just saying, we're thinking about it, we're looking at it. I'm answering as like you can't.
You answered a lot of questions.
Well, you can't
we got to remember that you got to
answer, right? I'm answering them.
Oh, are you going to have a physical presence at CES?
Where did the source of the universe come from?
The one.
There you go.
CES 2020. 2022, I mean.
Looking into it. We don't know at this point. We don't even know if CES 2022 actually will happen.
Will you ever get better controls and buttons?
Yes, in certain SKUs.
What was the riser question, Neo Severa? I think I missed that one. Can you ask
I don't
it
know.
again?
I got a question for you. And this is going, when you were on your hiatus, we didn't have any kind of transparency with Arcade1up.
Sure.
Community was done. Is there any particular reason to that?
I think when people take a break, I think we all evaluate what our relationship is. With other. I'm not just talking about business relationships. I think I'm just talking any relationship, right? Yes. Taking a break is a good time, a good thing, and just evaluate: is this a good thing that we have? Is it good to be as transparent as we've been? Is it good to always answer the questions? Those are things that you never know unless you try.
So it was an experiment. You tried out.
I'm not saying it's an experiment. I'm just saying no one told me to take a break.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
No one said, "Hey, John D, we need you to take a break." I'm saying for myself, I need to take a break.
One of the things.
Because Go ahead.
No, I was going to say one of the things that we noticed is that when you were gone, we had no communication, and I think you don't realize what you miss until it's gone.
100%.
And
100%.
Some other companies they don't really come out there and have that communication with you. They do it through other means, and everybody runs their business a different way. I think one of the things that we pride ourselves as Arcade1up supporters was that there was a person that we could go to, ask the questions, get a little bit of insight on how the business is and what might be coming down the pipelines or whatnot. And we missed that. So we want to know, we want to make sure that you just don't leave us again.
You know what? I think it's pretty much set that Arcade1up should have a good relationship with community. I also want to address these rumors that I left because of this whole Hilo hack thing. I want to put that to bed right now.
Put that to bed now.
I'll put that to bed right now. Okay. I encountered directly the people involved with Hilo hack and gave them options on how to continue their business. Okay. I didn't sue them. No one sued them. I said, if you want to run your business this way, these are the consequences that could happen, right? You may not be able to continue licenses with SNK if you continue this hack. And the people at Bash Games, they handled it correctly. Now they're in the business of real arcade development. Did I hide from Hilo hack? No, I did the opposite. I did something that I shouldn't have done, was bring the issue outwardly. I should have made that a private issue because it was not a good look for me and it was not a good look for Arcade1up. Okay. Mm-hmm. So I don't want anyone thinking, oh, I hid from that. No, I handled that incorrectly. I should never have made that poem.
That should have been behind closed doors.
That should have been behind closed doors. And this is what I learned. And this was one of the reasons I had to really take a reset and say, hey, John D, are you really like a good representative for this brand if you're going to make all these ruckus, old man ruckus and everything like that? No one wants to do no old man ruckus shit. Okay. I want to be real and I want to make sure that there's a time and place for outward communications. I'm not a PR person, guys. As much as, I've been appointed to do it. I'm not a PR person. I'm actually PR's worst nightmare. I'm actually HR and legal's worst nightmare. However, I've learned, okay? Hilo, y'all, keep doing things legit. That's all I say. Keep doing this legit because there's a reason why MVS doesn't have the SNK license anymore. And I warned them. I warned them because look, as a person who has licenses, it is our contractual obligation to protect our licenses. It's a contractual obligation to make sure people in our industry do not take advantage of piracy. And you can like say, hey, John D, F you, I hate piracy. I'm not in the position to say
he's not judging us. He
I'm
just got to
not
protect
judging
his
you because
business.
like I said, look, fair use law is very broad as well as very defined. I'm not saying don't sideload. I'm saying be careful if you do. I'm saying don't sideload, and also don't use this as a business model. Right? Don't use piracy as a business model. That's all I'm saying. I'm not telling you not to do it. I'm saying be careful. Okay, I went out of my way to tell those high-level hack people, be careful, because I don't want you to be in litigation. And you're not going to be litigated from Arcade1up. You're going to be litigated by SNK and Capcom and everyone else.
The big boys, because that's their pockets.
You know, and so I'm telling you guys, you guys can kill the messenger. I did not handle the communications directly because I put that public. But I just want to say I should never have done that publicly. And I've learned through this hiatus. And I'm here to tell you, let's play well together. Let's all be friends.
Well, we're really glad that you're back, John.
Let's do things legitly.
Yes.
Put those quarters on the glass.
And the most important question, I think, John, is when are you coming back on the show? When can we expect you back?
We need to
rounds. I will get to you guys after I do my entire rounds. Yeah. B Kong, I'm looking at you. Justin, I'm looking at you.
You gotta do endless one up. That guy's hilarious.
Okay, endless one up. You're on the list. You know, I want to do my tour. People said, "Oh, why are you doing weekly retro party again?" I said, "No, the last time was just kind of like, hey, let's have fun. This one was an official one. I want to help all channels. Okay, I want to help all channels. I'm looking at everyone, and I want to make this tour. I don't want to make people hurt. Like I didn't go on their show. I do want to make my rounds to everyone. Okay, and so I will in the right times. But again, guys, I'm sorry if I hurt your feelings. I didn't mean to.
But when you build a relationship like you did with us, to see it gone, that was one thing. We're glad that you're back. We appreciate you. And again, you don't know what you got till it's gone. So there you have it. I appreciate your time. We know that you spent 2 hours with us when you out there could have been trying to get us another license.
Like I want to smoke
Marvel versus Capcom 2 and shit.
Yep.
But that's neither here nor there. Thank you so much for the time that you gave us.
No, we appreciate you, man.
Hey, everybody. I love y'all. Okay.
Right before the show, just so you guys know, John's like, what do you guys want to do, an hour? If we go a little bit over, it's okay. Now, here we are 2 hours in, right? So we appreciate you, John.
Blink, so we appreciate you, man. We'll speak again. Thank you guys for joining us. Make sure you hit that thumbs up, subscribe to the channel because you'll be back and we'll follow up with all this and get you that exclusive news as always.
And again, thank you, Rev5, too, for coming on.
Rev, plug this tournament one more time before you leave.
Yo, you put your quarters on the glass this Sunday. Arcade1up, hit it up. We still got signups. First place is the Simpsons plus 500 ducats. Second place, 350 bones. Take your old lady to go get some brand new panties because she's going to be playing Marvel
cocaine. That cocaine got to stop, bro.
Damn,
I love this guy.
All right.
That cocaine is real. A hell of a drug.
Cocaine is hell of a drug.
a hell of a drug.
Hell of a drug.
All right, guys. Thank you so much.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you, Bye-bye. John. Thank you, Rev. Thank you, everybody.
All right, John.
Keep it popping.